Tonight, we journey through a story filled with peace and kindness. Fee and Tulip's Heartwarming Journey. This story is about the heartwarming bond between a girl named Fee and her cat Tulip, and their journey to realize they are exactly where they belong. In a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a kind-hearted young girl named Fee. She had bright blue eyes and hair the color of golden straw. She loved exploring the blooming meadows and whispering woods that surrounded her home. One sunny afternoon, while wandering near the edge of the village, Fee heard a soft meow. Curious, she followed the sound and discovered a small, fluffy kitten with fur as white as freshly fallen snow. The kitten, with its white-green eyes, looked up at Fee, and in that instant, an unspoken bond formed between them. He gently picked up the kitten and named her Tulip. From that day on, Fee and Tulip became inseparable. They spent their days playing in the fields, chasing butterflies, and sharing secrets under the ancient oak tree. Tulip, with her playful antics and gentle purrs, brought immense joy to Fee's life. One evening, as the sky turned a brilliant shade of pink, Fee noticed a flyer on the village notice board. It was a poster for a grand festival celebrating the spirit of the community. Excited, Fee grabbed Tulip and raced home to tell her family. Fee's parents smiled warmly and agreed to take her to the festival. The night of the festival arrived, and the village square was transformed into a magical wonderland. Lanterns hung from trees, their soft glow casting a golden hue over the cobblestone streets. Stalls filled with delicious treats and handmade crafts lined the square, and the air was filled with laughter and music. Fee held Tulip close as they wandered through the crowd, marveling at the sights and sounds. As Fee and Tulip explored the festival, they stumbled upon a circle of people gathered round a storyteller. With Tulip nestled in her lap, Fee listened intently to the tales of courage, love, and adventure. A storyteller's voice wove a tapestry of wonder, and Fee felt a warmth spread through her heart. She looked down at Tulip, who was purring contentedly, and realized she was exactly where she belonged. As the night drew to a close, Fee and Tulip sat by the village fountain, watching the stars twinkle above. Fee's heart brimmed with gratitude for the love and belonging she felt in that moment. Tulip nuzzled closer, and Fee smiled, knowing that they would always have each other. They had found their place in the world, side by side, heart to heart. Let's drift softly into the next tale. Lullabies and Marigold's Hopeful Journey. This story is about Lullabies and Marigold's journey to the Valley of Hope and how they discover the power of hope. Once upon a time, in a sprawling meadow filled with colorful flowers, lived a human named Bluebonnet and a dwarf named Marigold. Bluebonnet had hair the color of the sky at dusk and eyes that sparkled like the stars. Marigold, on the other hand, had a stout figure, a jolly face, and a beard as golden as the flower he was named after. Despite their differences, they were the best of friends. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Bluebonnet and Marigold sat on a hill overlooking their meadow. They gazed at the heavens, seeing the first stars blink into existence. Do you think there are eagles more out there? Bluebonnet wondered out loud. Marigold smiled, his eyes twinkling with hope. Well, of course, my friend. Hope is a powerful thing. It can take you places you never imagined. Stirred by these words, Bluebonnet felt a new spark of curiosity and excitement. And let's go on an adventure, she declared. Together, they gathered supplies, a cozy blanket, a lantern, and Marigold's trusty map. With hearts full of hope and pockets full of dreams, they set off into the unknown. The journey was filled with wonders. They crossed rivers that sparkled under the moonlight, climbed hills that whispered secrets to the winds, and walked through forests singing with life. Every step they took seemed to bring them closer to the stars, closer to the answers they sought. Along the way, they met various creatures, wise owls, playful foxes, and even a talking tree who guided them on their path. Each encounter left them more hopeful and more certain that their quest was worth every step. One night, as they camped by an ancient oak, Bluebonnet shared a dream she had. "I dreamt of a place where the sky meets the earth, and everything is bathed in a golden light," she said softly. Marigold nodded thoughtfully. "That place sounds like the Valley of Hope, a land I've heard tales of but never seen." Undeterred by the mystery, they decided to find the Valley of Hope. After days of travel, they finally reached a hilltop bathed in a radiant glow. Before them lay the Valley of Hope, just as Bluebonnet had dreamt. The sight was beyond their wildest imaginations. Flowers of all kinds bloomed in harmony, the air was filled with the sweet scent of possibilities, and the sky seemed to embrace the earth. "If we did it," Bluebonnet exclaimed, tears of joy shining in her eyes. Marigold placed a hand on her shoulder. "Indeed we did. And it was hope that brought us here." Returning to their meadow, they carried with them the essence of the Valley of Hope. Bluebonnet and Marigold knew their journey had only just begun. Folk had shown them that no matter how vast and unknown the world was, they had the power to dream, to explore, and to discover wonders beyond their imagination. And so, every evening, as the sun set, and the first stars appeared, Bluebonnet and Marigold would sit on their hill and dream of new adventures, their hearts forever filled with hope. Our next tale awaits, calm and heartwarming. In Fessia and Buttercup, a tale of devotion. This story is about the deep devotion and unbreakable bond between a kind-hearted human, Nymphia, and her adventurous companion, Buttercup, set in a whimsical village. In a tranquil village nestled amidst booming meadows and whimsical forests, there lived a kind-hearted human named Nymphia and her little adventurous companion, Buttercup. Buttercup was no ordinary child, but a spirited being from the enchanted woods, with golden hair that shimmered like the morning sun and eyes as green as the lush pastures. Nymphia and Buttercup shared a bond deeper than the roots of the oldest oak in the forest. They were inseparable. Each day, Buttercup would explore far and wide, diving into the mysteries of the forests and returning with tales of flora and fauna, while Nymphia patiently waited, her heart steadfast and devoted to Butterfoot's safe return. One morning, as the first light of dawn crossed the village, Buttercup set out on an adventure beyond the Whispering Hills, a place shrouded in legends and whisperings of old. Though trepidation gripped her heart, Nymphia's devotion never wavered. She believed in Buttercup's courage, fury, and honesty, knowing that her little wanderer had an indomitable spirit. As the sun dipped below the horizon, and the stars twinkled to life, Nymphia remained by the threshold of her cottage, a soft glow of hope in her eyes. Night came and went, but there was no sign of Buttercup. Days turned into a week, and still, Nymphia's hope never extinguished. Her devotion drove her to leave comforting signs, breadcrumbs and petals, trailing from the forest edge back to their home. On the seventh night, just as the moon hung low, a familiarly small figure emerged from the shadows. Buttercup, exhausted and a little bruised, had returned. She carried with her a rare flower, the moonlight fern, said to bloom once in a lifetime and bring eternal peace to the village. Nymphia's wells welled with tears of relief and pride as she indulged Buttercup in a loving embrace. Buttercup's adventure had not just been a quest for the flower, but a testament to the undying bond they shared. From that day on, the village prospered under the enchantment of the moonlit fern, a beacon of the marvelous devotion between Nymphia and Buttercup. Together, they taught the village the true essence of devotion, cementing their story as a cherished legend for generations to come. Let's wander gently into the next story. Citrus and Crocus, the spirit of helping. This story is about prey and winter spirit Crocus, who team up to bring warmth and joy to a neighboring village through acts of kindness, embodying the true spirit of helping. In the quiet town of Everwood, as the last leaves of autumn fell, Putrea watched the first snowflakes gently touch the ground. There was something magical about the transition from autumn to winter, a time when the world seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. As dusk turned to a starry night, Putrea wrapped herself in a thick blanket and sat by the window. For thoughts wandered to the stories her grandmother used to tell her about winter spirits. They were benevolent beings who helped those in need during the coldest months. Putea's favorite story was about Crocus, a mischievous yet kind winter spirit known for making the villagers smile. Despite her love for her grandmother's tales, Putrea had never actually seen a winter spirit. That evening, a soft whisper of wind carried a gentle melody. Putrea opened the window, and to her astonishment, there stood Crocus, shimmering in the light. "You must be Putrea," Crocus said with a twinkle in his eye. "I am Crocus, and I need your help." Putrea's eyes widened in surprise but nodded eagerly. "What can I do?" she asked. Crocus explained that the winter spirits had sensed a deep sadness hovering over a neighboring village. They needed a human heart to bring warmth and cheer through simple acts of kindness. Putrea agreed without hesitation, and with the wave of Crocus's hand, they were transported to the village of Glimmering Pines. The village was blanketed in snow, and while it looked serene, there was an undeniable sadness in the air. Putrea, guided by Crocus, started her mission. First, she helped the village baker bake bread, filling the air with the aroma of freshly baked loaves. Next, she visited the elderly and shared stories and laughter, bringing light to their eyes. Crocus assisted by conjuring delicate ice sculptures that adorned the village square, lifting the spirits of the children. Days turned into weeks, and the village began to change. The once somber faces of the villagers were now bright with smiles. They celebrated the little things and found joy in each other's company. Crocus and Putrea watched from a distance, their mission complete. The bond between Putrea and Crocus grew stronger, and as the first signs of spring appeared, Crocus knew it was time to leave. "Thank you, Putrea," he said softly. "You have brought warmth to a cold winter." Putrea smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment she had never known before. "Thank you, Crocus. You've shown me the true meaning of helping." With that, Crocus vanished into the winter night, leaving behind a bouquet of frost-kissed flowers as a token of his gratitude. Until next time, sleep well and sweet dreams.